1923 Main Street.
Home of everything to do with Disney travel in style. We are your hosts.
I am Mike Bella Braddock.
And I'm Amelia Bella Braddock. And today, do people really dress up for EPCOT Food and Wine Festival?
Yes, do they? And should you? We're going to explore this question because we've been asked this a couple of times, so we thought we would do an episode on this Disney travel style question. Of course, the Food and Wine Festival is on right now, and if you are going, that's awesome. We love it. At least I do. And if it's your first time,
I
then
like half of it.
Which half?
The food.
Yeah, that's fair. And there's lots of food, sweet and savory. You know, I will say before we get into this, it's a good question because when you think of the Magic Kingdom events, Halloween party, even the Christmas party, people, I think, obviously dress up or at least consider dressing up to some degree to get in the occasion. And then when you get to the EPCOT festivals, the Arts Festival, Flower and Garden, Food and Wine, it's not as much of a obvious thought about dressing up for these events.
Well, you know, it almost depends on what your definition of dressing up is.
You know, that's a good point. Maybe we shouldn't say dressing up as much as should you style your wardrobe for the theme of the event.
Yeah, because I think there's lots of ways to cater your outfit towards food and wine, but are you necessarily going to see floor-length dresses and like super fancy over-the-top hair and makeup? No. But there are definitely ways that you can style yourself to be in line with the Food and Wine Festival.
And if you have never been to the festival, and if you're wondering if anyone does style their outfits, they do. But I would say that's the minority of people who go there.
I'm the minority.
And I really wish people would. So let's encourage people. I think, you know, the more people get into the spirit of these events themselves, even by just a little bit on your outfit, and that's what we're going to talk about, the more fun it is for everyone. It becomes more immersive, more magical, more Disney.
Well, I think this is definitely one of the hardest ones to do.
The Food and Wine, you think?
Yeah. I would argue it's one of the harder festivals, harder than Flower and Garden, harder than
even the Arts
the
Festival.
Themed, yeah.
I mean, you could, if you really wanted, you could wear a little French beret or something like an artist, or there's lots of arts-oriented clothes. So I'll agree with you on that one, but it's not impossible. So let's talk about different ways you could style it. Well, first of all, there's the obvious one of theming food and wine, right? And that can be anything from graphics on your t-shirt or shorts or socks or the ears you're wearing or even what you might wear to a wine tasting at a vineyard.
Well, there's lots of, you know what I do see, lots of sort of Disney themed food and wine and then external themed food and wine.
All right, let's first talk about Disney themed food and wine.
Well, right away, I think the main thing is anything Ratatouille, specifically those Ratatouille ears that Disney came out with a while ago. I see quite a bit of those on Instagram and in and around the parks around food and wine time. Yeah,
Ratatouille's a big one. You're right. Even their decor. And
I mean, the movie is literally food and wine.
Yeah,
so
that's right. It covers it all.
Encompasses.
And if, you know, every year, sort of one of the things we like and we look for our own, you know, home decor, we're pickier now because we have a lot of stuff, but you will find there's event souvenir booths all around these. Shocker, Disney creates merch for these events.
Who would have thought?
But what I was going to get at is you can get like a Ratatouille Food and Wine t-shirt there for sure. Or sometimes other shirts, like button-up shirts and things and dresses. They sell things. So you can actually wear that there and you have a souvenir as well. So that's a real nice, easy way to get double bang for your buck.
That's true. And there's a lot of different ways to go about it. I think the ears, at least at Disney World specifically, are probably the most common because it's easy. You know, you just purchase it, goes with any outfit, just throw it on to sort of complete the look. But I am definitely one to go for the more understated pieces, even of the Disney collections, ones that are like a nice dress that just happen to have like a little mini themed design in the corner or something like that, I think is nice and still a Disney touch, especially for your little ones if they're not really going to enjoy the wine, but they can take some nice pictures and have fun with the ambiance.
Yeah, I mean, I've never seen anyone with like a hot dog hat or actually, maybe I have. Now that I'm saying that, I was thinking of the cheese heads for the the Green Bay Packers fans. But, I haven't seen a cheese head hat, but I have seen, I think, sort of fast food themed stuff, which would totally go with food and wine.
I think just based on the sheer size of the parks and the amount of traffic there is over the years, I've seen everything.
And the good thing about this, I would say, because there's a distinction, as we said, between dressing up in a costume or more Christmas garb for the Very Merry Christmas Party. This one is in a warmer time of year. It used to be summer, now it's back to fall. But either way, this way you can still make sure you're not overdressing, right? We're talking t-shirts, headgear, maybe a wine-themed dress or something flowy, like not a gown, but even a skater dress or something like that. And even on our site, we sell like the Sunset and Wine series of shirts, and our new Park Hop series has a beer-themed shirt, because it's not just food and wine. There's a lot of beer as well. I will say, for anyone who likes beer who's listening, there are lots of beer flights.
It's definitely the food and alcohol festival.
Or even drink, and not even alcohol, right?
True,
they do have a lot of non-alcohol, actually quite a few.
Do they?
You don't like them because they're mocktail concoctions usually. They have quite a few mocktail type of things, and even coffees now.
I will give the coffees. I've seen a pretty good variety of things.
So really, it could be called the Food and Drink Festival because there's sweet and savory food and drinks of all kinds.
Yes, but that has much less of a ring to it.
So if you're going and you want to put a little style in, which I highly encourage you to do, check out our t-shirts as an example, and we'll put a few into this blog post so you see what I'm talking about. But wine, food, drink themed shirts, or any kind of clothing would work.
Have any sort of pun like food or wine shirts, as I think most people have one or the other in their closets, it is definitely a good time to bring them out and pop them on.
Yeah, I do enjoy. And I notice when you're walking around when people do have themed stuff. And that's why I'm saying it just makes it more fun and immersive for everyone if you have a fun something. And you don't have to go overboard. It's not a costume, just something that says, I put even a little bit of thought into this.
Well, there's also the non-Disney or non-necessarily overly themed outfits that still go well with the vibe. I think food and wine is a tricky one because of the time of year. Like, I personally like to match my outfits to the time of year and the theme of the festival. But, with Flower and Garden, it's spring, it's bright, it's florals, it's whatever. But food and wine, especially since Disney hops it around from July to September to November all over the place, is a little bit harder to capture.
It seems to be back into its fall time slot. So, fall themed stuff. Even if you had Oktoberfest stuff, would go too. Especially at the Germany Pavilion.
Exactly. So bringing in some fall colors, especially like red is really big. This fall, I know last year it was more of a brighter red. This year, definitely more muted colors, reds, browns are in, which is topical, obviously, given food and wine. If you want to go more the red wine, of course, there's always white wine, champagne, rosé. Any color of the wine spectrum, really, I think would be cute if you had a little dress, little top. That way you could pose if you're taking photos with drinks if you're matching your drink. I think that's pretty cute.
You really could stretch it into fall because fall is when grapes ripen.
Exactly. That's another way to bring the fashion into
fall
it a
is
bit
when
more.
Oktoberfest is. And even for that matter, pumpkin. I wouldn't go too Halloween-y, but if your fall is sort of pumpkin-y or, Thanksgiving-ish, maybe not full thing. Well, there you go again, a turkey. I mean, all of these things, and all of these things are actually there is pumpkin-y flavored stuff as well, usually there. So anything food and wine themed, use your imagination, check through your closet instead of just going in your other branded generic t-shirt. Get in the spirit of the event because it just makes it more fun for everyone and even for yourself. And your pictures will look a little bit cooler too if your outfit sort of matches the event you're at.
That's what I'm saying. Definitely if you want to make it a little bit more dynamic. If you want to be a crazy person like me, I always encourage this. I always act as this look ahead, maybe at a type of drink or a type of food that you want to buy. If you want to take a picture with it, if it looks super cool, you could always try and match your outfit towards that.
Yeah, that's a good idea as well. If you have a Bubbles shirt and you want a glass of champagne, because a lot of the times, even though they serve the stuff in plastic cups, they do have really cool shaped plastic flutes and things for the champagne at some of those booths and stuff. So you can get some pretty fun photos around the water there at EPCOT.
And you can always try and theme these things towards, groups of friends or families or different things like that. If, you're a white wine and someone else is a rosé or a red or something like that, or if you're different types of food on your shirts, anything like that makes it a little bit more fun and on theme, yet still having a good time with your friends or family or whoever you're there with.
So let us know what you think on social media this week as we post about this episode. Follow along on social media at 1923 Main Street and respond back on whether or not you like to see people in theme or you like to, or yourself. And
have you seen it in the parks?
And your own ideas. What do you think beyond what we've talked about or even building on what we've talked about? Share the ideas with everyone, and then we can really sort of start getting these events a little bit more themed than they are right now, because I think that's more fun for all.
Yeah.
All right, everyone. Thanks again for listening. Visit us at 1923mainstreet.com. We will see you again next week and have a magical day.
Bye-bye.